Yeah. And then at the end, I'm going to...
Humidity, high sky today, and just a lot of heat, both for the players and the fans, and for those of us up here in the box. Tonight, a little different conditions out Pillsbury. As the sun sets and the arc lights are on, the wind has kicked up a bit. It's blowing straight in from center field, but it's a welcome cool breeze. We'll see if it has any effect on the balls this evening.
Well, it's the difference between night and day out here, as we have
that's one way to put it.
A little bit cooler air tonight, and this afternoon, as you said, hot and muggy, and really the kind of weather that'll wear a team down. It'll be interesting to see how Mater Dei comes out of that long late afternoon ball game. Cats having had a long time to rest and did not quite hit the humidity that Mater Dei did. So it's going to be the difference between the two teams. One has a lot of rest and one doesn't.
Okay, as I was saying about Mater Dei, they get here by way of a 2-1 win this afternoon. The Wildcats came up with only 2 runs, and they were both in the 3rd inning, but that proved to be enough as they were behind 1-0 after Center Grove scored a run in the top of the 3rd, but then lo and behold, the Mater Dei Wildcats come back in the bottom of the 3rd with 2 runs, and you give Chris Jasper that lead, although only 1 run. He went out and just began to mow him down. Got in trouble a couple of times, and when he did, went to the fastball most of the time. Except that one pitch that ended the Center Grove 6th inning when he had a man on base, 2 men on base, and 2 outs. And he struck out Ryan Jackson on a curveball just across the outside corner of the plate. And I think that pitch probably shocked everybody in the ballpark today. They expected he to do a perfect curveball to end that inning. Otherwise, it was the heat from Schaefer that was the story this afternoon for Mater Dei. The Wildcats 2 weeks ago winning their first sectional in 10 years down in Evansville. Went on to win the win and appear here tonight after beating Center Grove this afternoon. Center Grove bows out, as did New Albany in the preliminary round. So we're set for the Jasper Wildcats and the Mater Dei Wildcats in Al Pillsbury. Again on paper, pitching, hitting, and fielding. This should be a dandy.
Well, it should be. If we look at the Jasper tournament games, in those tournament games, the sectional and the regional and the semi-state so far, 35 runs scored for the Cats. They have only allowed 5. So the pitching has been there. Jimmy Goodorf tonight comes in with a 1.91 run average as far as tournament play is concerned. Over the year, Jimmy has been pretty consistent, a 1.49 ERA average with an 8.2-1 on the season. With a big afternoon. He walked 3 times and then grounded out. First pitch to him is on the outside corner. Low for strike 1.
We'll mention Disney behind the plate, McGrath at first, Nestor at second, and Steve Fisher at third.
The 0-1 pitch to Todd. That one's on the outside, a fastball for strike 2. And quickly, Todd Ballinger watches 2 pitches go over for strikes. Steve Spahn gets ahead of the first hitter. Ballinger looking. Here's the pitch. Just above the letters for ball 1. 1-2 count quickly at Todd Ballinger. And Spahn working a lot faster than Schaefer did this afternoon on the mound. Here's the 1-2 pitch inside, ball 2. That'll even it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Schaefer worked pretty quick. It got slow. Heron worked so slow on the mound for Center Grove.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's in there for strike 3, and Todd watches it go by right on the knees. Strike 1, or 1 strikeout for Steve Spahn.
Never got a rip at it, and he watched 3 pitches for strikes, 2 for balls.
So Kirk Goodsell will step in to see what he can do. 1 out, nobody on, just getting underway at Recreation Field, the championship game of the semi-state. Here's the pitch up high for a ball. Goodsell stepping in, and this afternoon, a walk, a struck out once, and singled twice. Pitches low outside for ball 2.
The outfield for Mater Dei, Flick, Rohrbacher, and Postaway left to right, not playing deep at all against the Wildcats.
Swung on and fouled back. 2-1 count now on Goodsell. Kurt will step in. Todd Ballinger striking out to begin the game on a 2-2 pitch. Spahn into the point up the pitch inside for ball 3. A 3-1 count on Goodsell. Spahn showing a little bit of speed out there, keeping the ball down low.
He'll work the corners, throw some curveballs, and can throw a good fastball when he's on.
3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch just on the outside for strike 2. Full they've watched 4 strikes go by now.
Well, we've learned James Disney has that outside strike. A lot of them don't.
Here's the pitch. Swung on a ground ball to the shortstop, just on the grass, over to first. Out number 2. Kurt Gutzow grounding it out to the shortstop. Chris Gady, outside pitch and the low pitch.
Well, a lot of those high school umpires, with the Cats we're talking about today, they'll be zone umpires, and they'll either give you that corner or they won't, and you'll find that out early. And that's something you got to gauge your first time at bat.
2 outs, nobody on. Phil Maringer, the hitter, inside high for a ball.
The outfield drops back a bit now with Maringer up there. A big hole again in right center field. That's just the book on the Cats, and I don't understand why. That's where they hit it.
1 ball, no strike. Pitch swung on, and there's a drive. Center fielder coming over. It's over his head all the way to the wall, and it's going to hit up against the wall. Maringer going into second with a double.
And again, Phil Maringer, who struggled at the plate, continues to rip it today. The center fielder, Rohrabacher, did what is so characteristic here at Recreation Field. He took a step in, then went to his left. But the ball is very tough to pick up.
On second, Phil Maringer takes his lead.
We talked about it. It's so tough to pick the ball up here at this twilight.
Spahn looks back at second, coming down with the pitch, up high for a ball.
But nonetheless, that ball was tagged by Maringer as it was slicing away from the center fielder in the right center field, right where the gap's at.
Again, the pitch swung on, and there's the ball. Right back for the wall. May be gone in dead center. It is. Right away center field. Jimmy Goodall takes it out of here for a 2-0 Wildcat lead. The regional, and a little bit harder. So the Cats quickly up 2-0. Had a big afternoon for the Cats, and he'll face Steve Spahn, who has now given up a double and a home run. Pitch inside for a ball after getting the first 2 men out. How many times have we seen the Cats score with 2 outs this year?
It's been that way all year.
Tanner had 2 singles, was 2 for 4 this afternoon. Here's the pitch. Again, that low strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Chris Tanner. Cats go up on top quickly, 2-0 on a 2-run home run. Pitch up high, hit out to the shortstop. Coming in is Gady. Throws the first just in time for out number 3. Chris Tanner thrown out 6-3, but the damage is done. A 2-run home run by Jimmy Goodall after Phil Maringer doubles. The Cats come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base at the end of the first half inning of play. Jasper 2 and Mater Dei coming to bat. Dipple was 1 for 2 this afternoon against Center Grove. Struck out once and popped up to the second baseman. He hits the first pitch, and that's in there for strike 1. Slow breaking pitch from Jimmy Goodall. 0-1 the count on Joe Dipple. The Cats up quickly, 2-0 in the top of the first. Next pitch hit right back to Jimmy. Gloves it over to first. Out number 1.
So far, things are going
on tonight against Jimmy Goodall. The pitch, that's on the inside corner. Strike 1.
Okay, he looked like he was going to drew it back and took the strike.
It's an 0-1 count on Delano so far. The first 2 hitters, Jimmy's been ahead. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch swung on and missed, strike 2. And John and the first 2 hitters, this is the Jimmy Goodall that we know is capable of being out.
Jimmy will be okay if Blake doesn't break him on those return throws. He fires it back to Goodall.
0-2 the count. Pitch up high for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blake has a habit of doing that. He's got a strong arm.
He'll get wrapped up in this ball game. He'll start firing it back to the pitchers. They like it. They know he's into the contest.
You get that old adrenaline going. And 1-2 the count. Pitch outside high. Ball 2. That evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strike. A breaking pitch that Jimmy took something off of.
He's got the breaking pitch working. It's just now hitting his target.
He doesn't get too cute. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball up high. Ball 3, and he'll go full on John Delano. 1 out.
Look for him to work the outside corner here, I think, Al.
Delano with a 3-2 count on him. We're in the bottom of the first inning. The championship game. Pitch way outside. Jimmy lost that one, and he walked Delano.
He worked it. He just didn't hit it. So a 1-out walk now for Mater Dei.
And it brings up Steve Spahn. Spahn this afternoon struck out, walked, scored a run, and flied out to right field. 0 for 2 officially. He comes to bat with a runner on first base, 1 out.
Spahn probably a bit shell-shocked after getting 2 easy outs and then getting roughed up for 2 quick runs.
He'd like to help his cause. They have a runner on first, one out. Gudorf looking over at first. Here's a pitch, squares away to bunt, takes the bat back, and strike one.
Love that breeze.
In on the third base is Maringer, watching for that bunt. Runner at first takes a short lead. Gudorf into the windup. The pitch swung on. High bounder over the pitcher. Right back to second base. Giesler second over to first. Double play. Delano is put out at second. Steve Spahn 6-3, and we have a double play. That retires the side despite the walk. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. And at the end of one complete inning of play, Jasper 2, Mater Dei
For the final four, Terry Gilbert now getting back in the first base coaching box down at third, Ray Howard.
Giesler will step in, and this afternoon Giesler walked, flied to right field, had a single, and grounded out to the shortstop. Facing Steve Spahn, the pitch swung on and missed, strike one as he took a good shot. Fred Weininger in the on-deck circle.
Giesler this afternoon 1 for 3 at the plate, had a couple RBIs.
Paul's been driving in the runs in the latter part of the year as he's come around pretty good. Pitch outside for a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gets away from the catcher, Marks.
Well, the Cats did what they want to do. Just instead of offense and defense by the bat, they've gotten Spahn thinking.
Here's the pitch. Down low inside for ball 2, 2-1.
They'll usually try and get you rattled by their base running and their fielding, but
you take them quickly like that, too. It's 2-1 pitch swung on a ground ball out to the shortstop. Gady up with it over to first in time for out number 1. And that'll bring up Fred Weininger.
Weininger's just one out. I feel that he is due to rip one over the right field wall. He's hit the ball hard in practice. He's hit it in the ball game, sometimes right at somebody. But he's got the good cut, and I expect him to launch one maybe yet this evening.
0 for 4 this afternoon, and trying to get his first hit today. Pitch down low outside for a ball.
He struggled today as Weininger had 3 strikeouts and a fly out to right field.
1 ball, no strike. Here's the pitch outside, way outside, as that one gets away from Spahn. Well, Schaefer still has 3 innings he can pitch, so we're liable to see him before this game is over with. But he did throw over 120 pitches this afternoon in that heat, and that's got to take something out of you. Pitch on the outside corners, strike 1.
Sure it did, but he won't be saving anything. If the Cats get behind later in this ball game, you can expect to see him.
Here's the 2-1 pitch by Spahn. Inside, ball 3. 3-1 count on Weininger. Well, there's no tomorrow if you lose. Schaefer looking for a good college career ahead of him.
Good thrower.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and a high bounder out to the second baseman. He's up with it over to first. And that's out number 2. Fred Weininger hitting a high hopper in the infield. Dipple coming in, making the play, and bring up Blake Kruger, who also had a rough afternoon.
Blake 0 for 2 at the plate, did score a run, walked once, struck out once.
Has had a good tournament, both regional, sectional, regional, and so far. Here's the pitch up high for a ball. 1 ball, no strike.
Actually, it wasn't Blake that scored the run. He led off that big inning with a walk, and Vogt, who came in to run for him, came across with that run. 5 runs in the 4th inning when they batted 10 men. He started and finished that inning.
1 ball, no strike on Blake Kruger. 2 outs, nobody on. That's when all the action started in the 1st inning, and the Cats came up with 2 runs. Here's the pitch, swung on a foul tipped off to the left. Evens it up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Todd Croft, the number 9 man in the order, and the man who pitched a masterful 2-hitter this afternoon, and his 2nd consecutive shutout for the tournament. He pitched the 1st game in the regional, pitching a shutout. Pitched the 1st game this afternoon for a shutout. Pitch, breaking pitch, swung on in the gap in right center field. That was going all the way back to the wall. And there goes Kruger rounding first. He'll go into second standing up.
And
he hit that one.
These teams against the Wildcats continue to play towards the line in right field, left center in center field, and leave that gap, and they do it. Every team we've seen play at the Cats in the last 5 to 6 weeks have come in. It must be a scouting report, but it couldn't be any more wrong.
And the tournament games, the Cats have just torn them up in that gap as they've and hitting him through there.
The one gap you'll rarely see him hit it in is the left center gap, and they cover that one up real well. I don't know who's doing their scouting reports, but I'm sure it's Fireman Ray Howard.
He won't complain about it, and they're still leaving it. That gap is still there.
They hit it twice there last to a Saturday night, one Saturday afternoon, and that's fine.
So now we have Blake Kruger at second base with a double. Todd Croft and Steve Spahn in the situation he was in the first inning. 2 outs, runner on second. Pitch swung on and missed by Blake, or Todd.
Todd, another one, struggled at the plate this afternoon, 0 for 3. A strikeout, pop up, and a ground out.
Well, they'd like to get this run in. Here's the pitch to Croft, way behind him. And a nice job by Marks to get that, as he actually had to run to his left to catch up with the ball.
In only 5 Jasper outs, Marks has been so busy behind the plate.
1 ball, 1 strike on Croft. Runner at second base. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 2. And now Croft finds himself behind Steve Spahn. 2 outs, runner on second. A double by Blake Kruger after the first 2 men grounded out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Spahn down with the pitch. Swung out and missed. Strike 3. He gets Croft swinging, and now retires the side despite the double. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. 1 man left on base at the end of 1.5 innings of play. Jasper 2, Mater Dei nothing.
Most auto in front.
Who we got? Tim Marks. Gotta keep the PA man straight here. Here's the first pitch by the left-hander. It's inside low for ball 1.
Jack out in left field there for a minute, came back into the booth.
1 ball, no strike, and a noisy crowd off to the left for the Mater Dei crowd from Evansville. 1 ball, no strike. Pitch down low for ball 2 as Mark squared away to bunt. Hold it back. 2 balls, no strikes.
He's probably tired. He's had a couple pitches get away from him. He's had to chase a couple, and he's worked awful hard the 2 times Jasper's been at the plate. Mark's the catcher for Mater Dei.
And here's the 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Jimmy having trouble finding the plate right now as we lead off the bottom of the second inning. It's been a long day, but the winner of this one goes to Indianapolis, and it'll pitch outside. Ball 4. He walks Marks on 4 straight balls. That's the second walk given up by Jimmy Gudorf, that you don't want to let the leadoff man get on. And it'll bring up Chris Schaefer, the first baseman. Chris, the pitcher of record this afternoon, went the full route and allowed a good hitting Center Grove team only 1 run. Coming away with a 2-1 victory. Schaefer going to score around the bunt. No secret on that. The throw to first, and the runner's back in time. Chris squaring off before the runner, or the pitcher, even goes into his windup. Todd Rohrbacher in the on-deck circle. Runner at first takes his lead. Nobody out. 1 on for Mater Dei, bottom of the second. Throw over to first, and not in time.
Schaefer showing the bump, but with 1 swift swing of the bat could tie this one up easily. A lot of power. Chris has launched a few out of Bossy Field this year.
Schaefer waiting for the pitch. He was 1 for 3 this afternoon. The pitch, and that low strike on the knees again.
Phil Maringer charging hard at third base, praying that Schaefer doesn't come with the cut.
1 strike on Chris Schaefer. The runner at first holding it. Brown takes his lead. Gudorf looks over. Brings the glove to the belt. Here's the pitch. Swung on and line. Foul. Off to the right. Over the stands. That right field area. And it's an 0-2 count on Chris. A little house cleaning by home plate umpire James Disney.
This would be a big out for Jimmy Gudorf if he can get Schaefer swinging on a ground out in some fashion. Keep the runner at first base.
He walked a man in the first, now has walked a man here in the second. Looks over at first, goes to first, and diving in is Tim Marks.
Howard talked this afternoon how important it is, 1, not to let the leadoff batter reach base, and 2, not to give the walks.
So, Chris Schaefer with an 0-2 count on him. Looks out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded to the shortstop. Gieser with it. Goes to second. Over to first. In time and double play again. 6 to 4 at second and 4 to 3 at first. A 6-4-3 double play, and for the second inning in a row. And there's only 2 outs, so second inning in a row, we have a double play.
Well, that time Jasper had to handle a hot grounder. That's the only thing you can say from Schaefer. Got it, bobbled to second, shuffled it over to Tanner at second, and the only thing that made that double play possible was the slow speed of Schaefer getting down to first base, as it took a while for Hall to get it and field it cleanly as it was hit hard.
Tanner really did not hurry that much getting it over there, as he had to wait a little bit.
And he got set with Weininger at first and doubled him up, and now with 2 outs, Rohrbacher stands in, the center fielder.
Rohrbacher, nobody on, 2 outs, pitch down low for a ball. Jimmy's getting him to hit it into the ground when he wants him. 2 double plays in this game already for the Cats. 1 ball, no strike on Rohrbacher. Here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 1 as Rohrbacher squares away to bunt and then pulls it back, but not sure he really wanted to bunch on.
Cobb looking down at head coach Carl Vogel in the third base box, a 1-1 count.
Rohrbacher, the pitch, swung on, grounded, pass, over to Hopper to Tanner, over to first. He's safe as it takes Weininger off the bag. Now Weininger's going to argue a little bit, not much.
Weininger's going to say he made the catch, which he did, but the first base umpire down there at first, Dan McGrath, says it must have pulled his left foot as he was stretching. It was hit sharply. Tanner came in, then had to back up, got it on the third hop, and fired one to first, and would have gotten it, but it just was a little bit off to the right. And again, it was a tough play.
An error on Tanner, and that's one of the few he's made this year.
So Tanner with a very rare error at second base. And climbing in will be Eric Postlewaite. 2 outs for Mater Dei.
That was only the 4th error on the season for Tanner. Pitches in there on the outside corner, strike 1 to Postlewaite.
You got to watch James Disney's right hand there at home plate. He'll take his time on the call, much like Steve Fisher.
These umpires behind the plate this year have been just as mysterious as some of the players on the field. Here's the pitch outside for ball. 1-1 to count on Postlewaite. Runner now on first base and 2 outs.
Jimmy's trying to nail that corner, and like Ray Howard says, when he pitches well and lets the pitch happen, you know, the fielders will help him.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on a high bounder to Geisler at short. He'll go to second. They got him over there, and Rohrbach throwing out 6-4. Postlewaite with a fielder's choice, but that retires the side. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base at the end of 2 innings of play. Jasper 2, Mater Dei. The whole regular season, I think they've matched that performance here in the semi-state and regional. But
top of the order now for the Cats here in the 3rd inning. Todd Ballinger stands in.
And here's the first pitch to him. Swing on and grounded into center field for a base hit. He wasted no time, went after the first pitch. So they're hitting Spahn.
There's no question they're getting to Spahn. He's given up 2 doubles, a home run, and a single up the middle. And the speed, not that much. He's got a good breaking ball when he gets it over.
And Kurt Goodsell, who grounded out to the shortstop his first time up, will try to keep things going for the Cats. And Ballinger takes his lead at first. They'll watch him closely. They don't want him loose on the base pass. Spahn looks over, throws over to first, and Ballinger's back in time.
Ray Howard said today their studies show 60% around there in tournament play. When the first man gets on, he'll score.
Throw over to first. Ballinger's back in time.
And if there's any team that's good at manufacturing that leadoff run, it's the Wildcats. They'll find a way to get him at home.
1 on, nobody out. Goodsell squares away to bunt. It's outside. He lets it go, and that's a 1-0 count. Phil Maringer in the on-deck circle. Goodsell in tournament play is hitting .300. Throw over to first. It's in time, not in time to get Ballinger. Goodsell has 2 doubles in tournament play, 5 RBIs. The pitch, he bunts it out in front of the play. Here comes Spahn, throws the first, and that'll put the runner on second base. The sacrifice bunt for Kurt Goodsell. He did the job.
And he does his job well. Execution. We saw Mater Dei. We were talking earlier before the ball game. I think in that Mater Dei Center Grove ball game, there was 4 to 5 sacrifice attempts by the two teams combined. Only one actually worked, and that was Mater Dei. The execution wasn't quite there, and it's just so important. Now they have that man in scoring position and 1 out.
Phil Manger with a 167 batting average in the tournament so far, plus what he did this afternoon. And that was a triple and a single in 3 official times at bat. The first pitch is low for a ball.
And of course, Spahn knows what he did in the first inning, so he'll be pitching a bit around Phil. Phil, a base hit here, bringing another run.
Runner at second base. Here's the pitch. Down low, he's got it. The low strike again. John, I don't know, but those really don't
anticipate this guy.
You can't. Those are on the lower edge of the knee. Most home plate umpires won't give you that pitch. 1-1 to count. The pitch. That one's down low for ball 2. And that wasn't a whole lot different than the one he just called a strike on. 2 balls, 1 strike. James Disley behind the plate. At second base, runner takes it late. Here's the pitch, a bunt out in front of the plate. The pitcher picks it up, throws over to first, and that puts the runner Todd Ballinger over at third.
Milner getting the sign from Ray Howard to bunt. That took just about everybody by surprise, but Spahn, he came flying off the mound, dove for it, was able to gather himself, come up, and throw to first in time to get Phil. Over at third now is Todd Ballinger. You'll look for a base hit, a pass ball, a wild pitch, an error. Anything to bring home that third run, and at the plate is Jimmy Gudorf. He has a two-run home run to his credit the first time up tonight.
Well, he'll see what he can do this time against Steve Spahn. You know, Spahn's not going to give him anything good to throw at, and that breaking pitch, that's on the outside low again. And he is so consistent on that pitch.
That's the thing, though. If he's consistent, then that's good. It's when they're inconsistent.
They know that they're going to get it. Here's the pitch. That one's down low, gets away from the catcher, but not very far. And the pitcher knows that if they're going to be called a strikeout, they have a better chance of going after it.
Well, if both the batters and the pitchers know what the strike zones are going to be after a first inning or two, that's okay. It's when the strike zone seems to shift in the middle innings. That's what hurts both teams.
2 outs, runner on third base now. Todd Ballinger, who led off with a single, was sacrificed over the second. Here's the pitch. There again, that's a strike 2, and the same pitch down around the knees. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the Cats are not going after those low pitches. They're hard to hit anyways, but 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That's down low. 2-2 the count, and what Spahn doesn't want to do is get the ball up.
That's a Gudorf.
To Gudorf. He found out what happens when you do that, and he doesn't want to do it again. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on. There's a ground ball to left field for a base hit. And that'll drive in Ballinger from third. So Gudorf now with his 3rd run driven in the first 3 innings.
Well, that time in the shortstop position for Mater Dei, over there was Getty, and Getty just kind of stumbled. He was playing towards second base, took a quick step to the right to try and get the ground ball. I don't think he'd have gotten it anyway, but he got off to a bad step and didn't have a play on it.
That's Gudorf's 3rd hit in this tournament. Chris Tanner will step in. Pitch swung on and line just outside the bag at first. Strike 1. Cats been able to get the runners on and have been able to get them across. They lead at 3-0, 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Jasper. No runs, no hits, no errors for Mater Dei. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch by Spahn, and that's in there for strike 2. Tanner grounded out to the shortstop on a 1-1 pitch in the first inning to end that inning. And it was an 0-2 count now on Chris Tanner. Tanner, the pitch, swung and hits it to the third baseman on the grass. Over to first, and it gets away from the first baseman. There goes Tanner to third, and they got him. Bottom mile.
Gudorf tried to take third when at first base and nailed Gudorf, but he was told to come by Ray Howard. Ray said he did what he was told, and that's okay. The inning ends, but for the Cats in the top of the 3rd, they do come up with a run.
All right, and for the Cats, 1 run. There was 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on at the second base or not. But Jimmy Gudorf was tying his shoe, and boy, just barely missed him as he threw the ball past him to second base. Here's the pitch outside and high to Chris Gady.
And Jimmy starts off behind, something he did in the last inning.
Well, he's done that a lot in the last 2 games he's pitched, so nothing to really go by. Here's the pitch in there for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. He seems to be just on enough to get the job done. Has given up no runs, no hits. Both teams have committed 1 error. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on a ground ball in the hole for a base hit. Chris Gady getting a hold of 1, and that's the first hit of Jimmy Goodor. Puts the leadoff man on first base and brings up Jason Fleck. And so far in the last 2 innings, the leadoff man has gotten on.
They have been unable to score thanks to a couple of double plays. The Cats have turned 1 over in each of the first 2 innings, and they have now Gady down at first. The first base hit for the Mater Dei Wildcats. And Fleck, the left fielder, will stand in. The Wildcats checking themselves defensively, and Fleck checking the third base coach, Carl Vogel.
Jason Fleck steps in, runner on first base, nobody out. Jimmy Goodor working with a man on base again. Here's the pitch, squaring away to Butt. He bunts it down the first base side. Goodorf over, goes to first, and they got the out. But the runner's over at second base in scoring position. Jason Fleck gets the sacrifice bunt done, and it'll bring up Joe Dipple, the leadoff man.
Well, he executed to the top of the letter, just about beat it out. The bunt was excellent up the first base line. Goodorf had to come flying off the mound barehanded and throw to first, and the throw was a bit wide, but again, that stretch by Weininger. Now Goodorf's going to change the alignment of the outfield a little bit. He wants Rashi in left and move over to his left a few steps.
All right, and Goodorf down with the first pitch, and that's in there for strike 1 to Joe Dipple. The leadoff man, 1 out, runner on second base for Mater Dei. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch, just missing outside for ball 1.
That ball broke in, but just not quite enough. Now a beautiful evening here at Rec Field.
John Delano in the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. Swung on line to the first baseman. Weininger has it. Tags first, and the runner goes over to third. Chris Gady goes over to third. That was a line shot that Weininger used his body to stop.
Once again, there's another sign of it. The Wildcats, Weininger used his whole body, stopped the ball, and got the foot out at first, and that saved the run scoring. And we've just seen in 2 2/3 innings in the field, the Wildcats have just turned over great defense.
Well, they have now John Delano, who walked his first time up and was erased on a double play. Here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 1. And getting those low pitches has to help Jimmy Goodor. Here's the pitch. Swung on a line. Foul into the right field. Opportunities in each of the first 3 innings. Let's see if Jimmy can get out of this one like he has the other 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on a high bounder. Jimmy has it. Over to first. In time for out number 3. Just in time. As he
go to Indianapolis, Mater Dei, they want to make the trip. We'll see what happens. Batting here in the 4th will be Paul Kiesler. He grounded out to start the 2nd inning. The first pitch from Spahn on the way, low in the dirt, ball 1. 1-0 the count. As Paul Kiesler starts it off here. Paul involved in a couple double plays already tonight. The next pitch swung on and tapped foul back over the right field bleachers. Brings the count to 1-1. An excellent crowd, excellent weather. And for the Wildcat fans, an excellent score at this point, 3-0. Mater Dei bringing a very good crowd. We were saying today not quite that many this afternoon from them, and we expected a bunch more this evening, and they have arrived. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Kiesler outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count to Paul Kiesler, the Jasper shortstop. Kies drove in a couple of runs this afternoon on 1 base hit out of 3 times at the plate.
And that goes with the 4 he's driven in the tournament.
And there's a shot right to the right first base, and Chris Schaefer goes 2 steps to his right, backhands another fine defensive play. Schaefer now makes one in the infield for Mater Dei, and quickly the Cats have 1 out. Paul Kiesler hit it right on the button, but big Chris Schaefer moved once to his left and backhanded it for an unassisted put out down at first base, and that'll bring Brett Weininger to the plate. Brett, the first pitch swung on and popped foul. He's swinging an outside pitch, and Ray Howard looking at him and directing his line of sight for pitches. Brett on one of those cold streaks now. His last base hit, his last time at bat last Saturday night. Here's the pitch. a breaking ball upstairs. Weininger this afternoon 0 for 4. The next pitch, a breaking ball on the outside corner now, runs the count to 1-2, and I'll check that. It was last Saturday night against Mater Dei, and Weininger he went 2 for 2 the first 2 times and did not reach since. The next pitch swung on and tapped foul back to the screen. It's going to bounce all the way back out to the pitcher's mound, and Baum will check it over. It definitely hit that concrete base of this big backstop, and that'll usually put a ball out of play for tonight. A ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Jasper bats in the top of the 4th. They lead it 3-0. At the plate is Weininger, the first baseman. Stands in the left-hand batter. Pitch in the outside on the inside corner. I was wanting to say across the inside, and he got him looking as that pitch right about belt high out. Just came across the inside corner and got him looking.
Nice-looking fastball that time, and I don't think Weininger was expecting it.
Super pitch by Spahn got Weininger looking. And Blake Kruger will trot to the plate now with 2 out. He was up with 2 out in the 2nd inning and hit a double. Blake 1 for 1 tonight. Nobody on here in the 4th. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1. Spahn has been roughed up for a home run, 2 doubles, and 2 singles. He's been hit for 3 runs. The Cats 3-5-1. Mater Dei 0-1-1. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Blake. In the dirt, ball 2. 2-0. Spahn working quickly here in the 4th inning. Kruger ready. Here's the pitch on the inside corner. A called strike, 2-1. Kiesler led off with a line shot right at Schaefer at first, and Weininger caught looking, and Kruger stands in now with a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch on the outside corner. Called strike. You can see when Disney's going to go for that right clinched fist.
Spahn's moving the ball around real well now and catching those corners.
2-2 pitch now coming for Blake Kruger. Here it comes. A breaking ball high, goes out to strike 3. So Spahn gets the Wildcats 3 up, 3 down for the first time tonight. We played 3.5. It's still Jasper 3, Mater Dei nothing. The pitch.
To his left, and that'll be an error, and we'll see if it's a costly error. Spahn reaches on an error on the center fielder. That's the 2nd error for the Wildcats tonight. That ball was hit right on the button, but Todd normally plays that shallow position and was there in plenty of time. Now just didn't pitch it home. And it looked like he lost concentration on it, because just as it hit his glove, he looked over toward Goodsell in right field coming over, and the ball bounced out of his glove.
He came in and just had plenty of position and time and just didn't pinch it. And now Blake Kruger walks out and talks to Jimmy Goodharf, and Goodharf looking over at, okay, we're going to have cleaning off home plate, but Goodharf taking a glance over at the coaching staff in the Jasper dugout. Nothing hurt yet, but a leadoff error now gets Spahn down at first, and that'll kill you a lot of time. Standing in, Tim Marks, the catcher. Here's the pitch. A called strike right down the middle. Marks walked to lead off the 2nd inning. He was eventually involved in a double play as Schaefer grounded to short. The Cats now have Mater Dei's first runner aboard, and an error on center field, and a 1-strike count. Here's the next pitch, a breaking ball just missing the outside corner, brings the count to 1-1 to Tim Marks, the Mater Dei catcher. He has Steve Spahn down at first, and rightfully shouldn't be there. A line shot Todd Ballinger just didn't handle in center field. 1-1 count now. Here's the pitch to Marks. Inside, swung on, grounded to Millinger at 3rd, goes to 2nd, and back to 1st in time, a double play. I didn't think they'd have near enough time, but the throw from Millinger to 2nd, and then Tanner turned and fired to 1st, and the 3rd double play for the Cats tonight.
And a good job by Millinger to make that double play as he rifled that ball to 2nd, and Tanner rifling over the 1st in time. So 3 double plays defensively for the Cats. You can't get any better than that.
I was just looking for them to get 1 out there, and Tanner turned and just nailed him. Schaefer stands in now with 2 outs. Here's the pitch, a breaking ball. He goes after it, strike 1. Tried to check his swing, but that would have been a strike either way, as home plate umpire Disney tells him. Chris Schaefer now would have had a chance at having at least a man at 2nd or 3rd. Now Here's an 0-1 pitch by Gudorf that gets way outside. 1-1 the count. Jimmy wanting to get out of this inning. The Wildcats can probably expect to see this man Schaefer on the hill when Mater Dei takes the field in the top of the 5th inning.
And Mater Dei's had people on base every inning.
Swing on, one on, and good side. Good side. That went 3/4 the way up the right side and left field and way out into the park of the park between here and 10th Street School. Jimmy Gudorf sent a curveball and Chris Schaefer tattooed it.
And does that make the double play look extra big?
Does it ever?
2-run home run instead of just 1 run.
The solo shot by Chris Schaefer. We kind of figured today we might see him launch one out of here. And Gudorf, when it came in out, my eyes got kind of big because it was a hanging curveball. And Chris Schaefer just absolutely smoked it. That ball took about 2 seconds to get out of this ballpark. And if you know these right-standers here, it went out 2/3 of the way up the one in left field.
Now he's a big one. He hit that one with everything.
Okay, now that narrows it a bit. 3-1, Jasper, and they did give up a run so far in this 5th inning, or 4th inning. And with Todd Rohrbacher coming to the plate now, here's the pitch, the outside corner missing. A ball, no strike to Todd Rohrbacher. Here in the 4th inning, Jasper leads at 3-1. Chris Schaefer just took Jimmy Gudorf bye-bye. Now Blake Kruger jumps out from behind. Okay, they're going to wait. Some fan threw the ball into Aaron Rashi in left field. Rashi's going to turn around, throw it into Giesler. He'll throw it to Kruger. And the home plate umpire Disney will look it over. That ball probably still smoking. A 1-0 count to Todd Rohrbacher, the center fielder for Mater Dei. Here's the pitch. Way outside, he attempts the bunt, it goes foul. Todd reached way out to drag the bunt up third baseline. Would have been a dandy, but it just rolled foul. Todd's parents in the stands below us, friends of ours, Jim and Ann Rohrbacher from Evansville. Might know his mother by a better name of Ann Comas, co-anchor on Channel 14 in Evansville. They're here this afternoon, saw him play this afternoon against Center Grove. Todd plays center field for the Mater Dei Wildcats. A 1-1 count now as he climbs back in, making the trip back from first. Here's the pitch, way outside, ball 2. Jimmy Gudorf now looking to get out of his 4th inning. Nobody on, 2 outs, but he just got roughed up by Chris Schaefer. That pitch, hanging curve, and Chris knocked it out of here. Here's the pitch, outside, ball 3.